We're going to start by just taking a couple of basic shapes and then using one of those shapes to mask the object that's underneath the shape. So here I have a circle and I have a rectangle. The rectangle doesn't matter what it looks like. We're just going to use this as the basis for the clipping path. So now notice when you look in layers, these two objects are directly one on top of the other, and you want the object that you're going to use for your clipping path to be on top. Then you can select both, and again they need to be right next to each other in layers or this won't work. And then there's various ways to make clipping masks. So object down to clipping mask, make. Also, you can just right click. You can say make clipping mask, and Command or Control and the key and the number 7 on your keyboard will all do the same thing. So I'll just right click here and say make clipping mask. And then when you look in your layers now, it has changed a bit. It says clip group. And if I look at the contents of that clip group, there's our rectangle and there's our circle, right? And so we can click on that rectangle, and if I just click on this and move it around, essentially it just looks like a rectangle now, but it's the size of that original rectangular clipping path. The circle is still there, but it's being hidden. And if we go and look at this in outline view, you can see that the circle's still there. So here's the rectangle, that's the path defining what we see, and then here's the circle, and I can click on either, and I can move that circle around underneath there or whatever, recolor it, resize it, whatever I would want to do. So then if you want to reverse this and say release clipping mask, then we will select it. I'm just right clicking here, going to say release clipping mask, and now we are back to you can't see the rectangle anymore, but it is still there. It will lose its appearance if you release the clipping mask, but you can always go back into it and give it a stroke or a fill again, and it will exist right in your layers. So yeah, it's a pretty simple process on the surface, and it gets a little bit more complex the more types of things you try to group and clip. So we'll get deeper into it from here.